Good morning, viewers. This is Global Entertainment News TV. I am your host, Busola, and welcome to our newspaper review segment. Let's start with the punch. APC account sees over 8.9 billion naira debt, says Danjude. APC account seized over 8.9 billion naira debt, says Danjude. Moving on to the next. Party incurs legal fees, orders from presidential, governorship, legislative election cases. Party incurs legal fees, orders from presidential, governorship, legislative election cases. Up to the next headline. Importers fret as Dangote lowers petrol price again. Importers fret as Dangote lowers petrol price again. Moving on to the next. 1.9 billion naira fraud. Ex-accountant general seek out of court settlement. 1.9 billion naira fraud. Ex-accountant general seek out of court settlement. Moving on to the next. Concerns as forest reserves drop $2.3 billion amid naira gains. Concerns as forest reserves drop $2.3 billion amid naira's gains. Moving on to the next. Niger, orders exist from ECOWAS affecting counter-insurgency war, says Air Chief. Niger, orders exist from ECOWAS affecting counter-insurgency war, says Air Chief. Moving on to the next headline. Pro-Obasa clerk barred from assembly, threatens contempt suit. Pro-Obasa clerk barred from assembly, threatens contempt suit. Up to the next. Immigration arrests 378 illegal immigrants in Ogun. Immigration arrests 378 illegal migrants in Ogun State. Moving on to the next. USAID donates drug found in Lagos Abia market, says NAFDAC. USAID donates drugs found in Lagos Abia market, says NAFDAC. That's it for the punch. We move now to the Vanguard. APC NEC meeting. Buhari, Obasanjo, Amachi absent as Tinubu woos aggrieved members. Buhari, Obasanjo, Amachi absent as Tinubu woos aggrieved members. Up to the next. Scores feared dead as Boko Haram attacks Adamawa communities. Scores feared dead as Boko Haram attacks Adamawa community. Up to the next. My life in danger. NAFDAC DG cries out. My life in danger. NAFDAC DG cries out. Moving on to the next. Tinubu's Muslim government has brought massive suffering, says Sharia Council. Tinubu's Muslim government has brought massive suffering, says Sharia Council. Up to the next. Dangote slash petrol price by 65 naira to 825 naira per litre. Dangote slash petrol price by 65 naira to 825 naira per litre. Up to the next. Judge dismisses recusal request in Emefiele's trial. Judge dismisses recusal request in Emefiele's trial. Moving on to the next. Trump floats $5 million gold card as route to US citizenship. Trump floats $5 million gold card as route to US citizenship. Moving on to the next. NACCIMA, OPS to NAS. Remove sections of tax bill that impose taxes on FTZ. Remove sections of tax bill that impose taxes on FTZ. That's it for the Vanguard. We move to The Nation. Confidence votes a challenge to do more. Tinubu pledge. Confidence votes a challenge to do more. Tinubu pledge. To the next one. Marketers to get Dangote petrol at 825 naira per litre in price slash. marketers to get Dangote petrol at 825 naira per litre in price slash. Up to next. FCCPC begins action on high cost of diabetes BP medications. FCCPC begins actions on high cost of diabetes BP medication. To the next headline. NAFDAC we seize 1 trillion naira worth of fake drug in Lagos and Anambra. NAFDAC we seized 1 trillion naira worth of fake drugs in Lagos and Anambra. Moving on to the next. Tolling of Epe Mojoda Ijebu-Ode Express begin 24 March, says Ogun Agency. Tolling of Epe Mojoda Ijebu-Ode Expressway begins March 24, says Ogun Agency. Up to next. Tax reform shouldn't subsume customs, CG Adeniyi cautions. Tax reform shouldn't subsume customs, CG Adeniyi cautions. Up to next. APC NEC endorse president's policies. APC NEC endorse president's policy. Moving on to next. I inherited 8.9 billion naira debt, says Genewsng. I inherited 8.9 billion naira debt, says Genewsng. That's it for the nation. We move to the Guardian. Second term. Amid row, APC NEC passes vote of confidence in Tinubu, Genewsng. Amid row, APC NEC passes vote of confidence in Tinubu, Genewsng. Moving on to this. Dangote slashes PMS price by 65 naira. IPMAN warns of marketers' loss. Dangote slashes PMS price by 65 naira. IPMAN warns of marketers' loss. Moving on to the next. Tax reform. Kano warns against breach of federal character, Muslims' rights. Kano warns against breach of federal character, Muslims' rights. Moving on to the next. NAFDAC boss raises alarm over threat after historic 1 trillion naira illicit drug seizure. NAFDAC boss raises alarm over threat after historic 1 trillion naira illicit drug seizure. To the next headline. FCCPC tackles rising cost of drug, begins inquiry. FCCPC tackles rising cost of drugs, begins inquiry. Up to the next. Again, police alert to looming violent protest in Kano. Again, police alert to looming violent protest in Kano. Moving on to the next. Importers warn of possible port disruption as new NPA tariff begin March. Importers warn of possible port disruption as new NPA tariff begins March. To the next headline. Banks fraud-related losses rise by 350% to 52.3 billion naira in 5 years. Banks fraud-related losses rise by 350% to 52.3 billion naira in 5 years. That's it for our newspaper review segment. Thank you for joining us today. Be sure to join us again tomorrow, same time, same station. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For more news and updates on Global Entertainment News TV, I've been your host, Busola. Have a blessed day. Bye.